Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. Nhu and other parts of Haryana remain tense for the third straight day with a few sporadic instances of violence, especially in the interiors of various districts. Communal clashes that broke out in Nhu and spread to other parts claimed 6 lives and have left dozens injured. But crores of property has been damaged, stolen, looted. The clash broke out during a Hindu religious procession in Nhu district after rumours spread that the absconding Nhu Mewat, a key accused in the Bhiwani killings, would also attend the event. At least 44 FIRs have been registered under rioting and communal sections, and over 116 people have been arrested so far. And this is across various districts. Nearly about 70 have been arrested in Nhu itself. The police FIR also points towards a pre-planned conspiracy, and it doesn't mean that it was just Nhu Mewat. This was something which was being orchestrated and planned, and there was supposed to be, that's the FIR says, that this was pre-planned nearly about 8 to 10 days. That's what some news reports are also reporting. While the opposition slams the Manohar Lal Khattar government for failure of law and order in the state, and how did the intelligence mechanism not know? How did law enforcement not know? The state government has termed the violence as a well-planned conspiracy. But looking at the scale of violence and details emerging, can we deny the fact that it was pre-planned? Are we leaning to believe what the government is saying? Yes, it is right and fair to ask the government, if it was pre-planned, how did you not know? But who are these people who pre-planned this? Who are these people who stoked the fire and lit perhaps the tinderbox? Do the cops have enough evidence to prove what happened on July 31st and thereafter was pre-planned? Now an FIR has been registered in Nhu against unknown persons, and CNN News18 has accessed the FIR, which discloses some stunning revelations. The cops have said in the FIR that the incident was a pre-planned and well-planned conspiracy. Police has stated that people in the mob attacked and shouting slogans. They attacked the yatris of this 84 kosi or 84 kos yatra, which is perhaps being undertaken for the 3rd or the 4th year. And the police team present at Nhu's Adbar Chowk was also attacked. A crowd of about 600 to 700 violent people who were coming from the Tauru village were chanting slogans and attacked the police station. The FIR stated that hundreds gher out the police station, throwing stones and shouting they will burn the policemen alive. So much so that they tried to take control of a bus, pulling out all the people who were on board the bus, looting them, and then driving the bus into the wall of this police station. The FIR says the unruly violent crowd continuously pelted stones at the cops. Where did they get so many stones at the ready is another question that comes. The mob broke the main gate and wall of the police station using a bus. The rioters climbed on top of the police station and started to fire at the policemen using illegal weapons. The policemen fired tear gas and then had to fire over 100 rounds of bullets in self-defense. The protesters burnt over 15 vehicles inside the police station itself, and the cops, in retaliation, like I said, fired 100 rounds. The FIR states that protesters finally left after reinforcements reached, but they warned to kill the policemen. Why is this police station so important is one aspect that remains and perhaps looms, and it is subject to investigation. Earlier in the day, I caught up with the Haryana Home Minister Anil Vij. Listen into this conversation. Joining us now is the Home Minister of Haryana, Anil Vij ji. Anil ji, namaste, Jai Hind. मैं सबसे पहले आपसे जानना चाहूंगा अभी वहाँ हरियाणा में परिस्थिति क्या है, खासकर नूह और आसपास के इलाकों में, गुरुग्राम, पलवल, फरीदाबाद और सोना।
देखिए, पूरी तरह से शांति है, पूरी तरह से स्थिति नियंत्रण में है। हमने हरियाणा की 23 और केंद्र की 20 कंपनियां वहाँ पर डाल दी हैं और 8 सेक्टर बनाए गए हैं, 8 जो थाने हैं, हर थाने का एक IPS को इंचार्ज बनाया गया है और आज चंडीगढ़ से कुछ IAS भी भेजे जा रहे हैं जो वहाँ बैठकर सारी स्थिति का अवलोकन करेंगे। हम पूरी तरह से जो साक्ष्य मिल रहे हैं, चाहे वो CCTV से मिल रहे हैं या अदरवाइज मिल रहे हैं, उनके आधार पर हम FIR दर्ज कर रहे हैं। 41 FIR हमने अभी तक दर्ज कर दी है और 116 आदमी अभी तक केवल नूह में गिरफ्तार हो चुके हैं। बाकी जगह से भी गिरफ्तारियां हुई हैं, जैसे गुड़गांव से, सोना से, रेवाड़ी से, वो भी गिरफ्तारियां हुई हैं और उसकी भी FIR दर्ज की गई है।
अनिल जी, प्रशासन को दोष दिया जा रहा है, कहा जा रहा है कि पुलिस सतर्क नहीं था, इंटेलिजेंस फेलियर कहा जा रहा है कि क्या आपको भनक नहीं थी? सोशल मीडिया में काफी दिन से इस पर उबाल हो रहा था कि ग्राउंड पर ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है। जो वहां चश्मदीद हैं, जिनकी दुकानें टूटी हैं या लूटी गई हैं, वो भी कहते हैं कि पुलिस और प्रशासन वहां पर मौजूद नहीं थे।
नहीं, इस सबके हम पड़ताल करेंगे। अभी जो प्राइमरी काम है हमारे सामने वो है वहाँ पर स्थिति को पूरी तरह से नियंत्रित करना, शांति बनाए रखना और जो जो लोग दोषी हैं उनकी पूरी तरह से खोजबीन करके उनको सज़ा दिलाना। और ऐसा तो जिस ढंग की ये वहाँ पर आगजनी हुई है, गोलियां चली हैं और जिस प्रकार का तांडव हुआ है, वो कोई एक दिन का काम नहीं हो सकता। उसके लिए किसी न किसी ने मास्टरमाइंड किया होगा और हम उसको भी फाइंड आउट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। लेकिन हम तथ्यों पर आधारित सब कुछ जांच करना चाहते हैं और सारी स्थिति को हम सामने लाएंगे, लोगों के सामने बेनकाब करेंगे कि किसने ये खेल खेला है, किसने प्रदेश की और देश की शांति को भंग करने का प्रयास किया है।
आपको क्यों लगता है कि ये प्री प्लान्ड है, सुनिश्चित तरीके से किया गया है अनिल जी?
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। आप देखिए ना जी, साइमल्टेनियसली सभी जगह पर छतों पर पत्थर आ जाना, गैस के सिलेंडर आ जाना, नाकों पर गोलियां चलाना, तो ये बिना प्लानिंग के तो नहीं हो सकता ना जी, एकदम तो नहीं हो सकता। अगर एकदम हो फिर तो फैलते फैलते फैलती है, एकदम कभी नहीं फैला करती। अगर एकदम कई स्पॉट्स पर दंगा हुआ है, थाने को आग लगा दी है, अस्पताल को तोड़ा गया है, गाड़ियां जलाई गई हैं, तो ये एकदम तो नहीं हो सकता। उसके लिए कुछ न कुछ इकट्ठा किया होगा ना जी, पत्थर इकट्ठे किए होंगे ना जी। इतने लोगों को पत्थर लगे हैं तो किसी ने तो प्री प्लान किया है कि कहाँ से यात्रा आएगी, कहाँ से यात्रा जाएगी, अगर एक्स्ट्रा पुलिस फोर्स मंगाई जाएगी तो कहाँ से आएगी। गुड़गांव से हमारी पुलिस गई उनकी सहायता करने के लिए और बॉर्डर के ऊपर ही उनके ऊपर फायरिंग कर दी गई, हमारे 2 होमगार्ड के जवान मारे गए। तो कोई तो कर रहा ना जी, इसको ऐसे तो नहीं माना जा सकता ना जी कि भाई ये एकदम हो गया या कुछ हो गया। और ऐसे कोई उत्तेजना पूर्वक कोई किसी साइड से बात की गई हो, उसका भी कोई साक्ष्य सामने नहीं आ रहा।
पर आप ये भी तो मानेंगे कि अगर कोई ये सब कुछ कर रहा है और ये षड्यंत्र भुन रहा था जैसा आप कह रहे हैं, तो फिर सरकार प्रशासन को भी इसकी भनक नहीं लगी, पुलिस और इंटेलिजेंस को भी इसके बारे में पता नहीं लगा?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। हमारी जो जांच हो रही है उसका ये भी एक बिंदु है कि किस स्तर पर वो अगर दी गई तो किस लेवल पे दी गई जानकारी, अगर नहीं दी गई तो कहाँ नहीं दी गई, तो हम उस लेवल पर भी कर रहे हैं। लेकिन पहले जो हमारा प्राइमरी काम है, मैं समझता हूँ हमारी सरकार का, हम उसको कर रहे हैं।
कल मेरी एक सज्जन से बात हो रही थी देर रात, वो वेद प्रकाश जी हैं, वहीं नूह के रहने वाले हैं। वो कह रहे हैं कि तो पीढ़ियों से वो वहीं रहते हैं, लेकिन उनका ये कहना है कि प्रशासन ने अगर मदद नहीं की तो फिर यहाँ से वहां से हिंदुओं को पलायन करना पड़ेगा। ये उनका कहना है क्योंकि उनको लगता है कि प्रशासन ने हाथ हटा दिया। वो कहते हैं हमारा कोई पॉलिटिकल एफिलिएशन
नहीं, हम सबको पूरी तरह से सुरक्षा मुहैया कराएंगे, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है। अब इसके लिए अब हम सारा सोशल मीडिया को सारे को हम स्टडी कर रहे हैं कि क्या क्या पोस्टें डाली जा रही थी, क्या क्या उसके ऊपर वार्निंग दी जा रही थी। हमारे पास लोगों ने कई चीज़ें मुहैया भी करवाई हैं, वो भी हम सब इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए दे रहे हैं। तो हर एक चीज़ की गहराई तक जाएंगे।
उनका कहना था कि उनका बेटा 3-3.5 घंटे से FIR लिखाने के लिए पुलिस थाने में खड़ा था और पुलिस पूछ रही थी कि आप शिनाख्त कराओ कि कौन कौन आए थे आपकी दुकान को तोड़ने। तो ये कैसे कोई करेगा? दंगाइयों से आप अपनी जान बचाएंगे या फिर उनकी शिनाख्त करने में लगेंगे?
नहीं,
लेकिन उन्होंने कहा कि सभी लोकल लड़के थे, 15-20 साल के आसपास के लड़के थे।
और ऐसे भी केसेस आ रहे हैं, कोई पर्टिकुलर केस है तो आई लुक इनटू आल्सो, पर लेकिन हम जनरली सारों की दर्ज कर रहे हैं जो जहाँ पर हो रही है। और हमारी जैसे मैंने बताया कि सेक्टर बना के हम कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं। हर थाना स्तर पर हमने एक IPS अफसर को बैठाया है ताकि लोगों को कोई कठिनाई ना हो।
अनिल जी, आई जस्ट ऑल्सो वांटेड टू आस्क यू कि आज भी और कल देर रात भी गुरुग्राम में और उसके आसपास भी कुछ इंसिडेंसेस हुए हैं, ये आपके संज्ञान में है?
नहीं, मेरी जानकारी में है और उसी वक्त मैंने CP गुड़गांव से बात की थी और उन्होंने जाके स्थिति को नियंत्रण में कर दिया।
पीस कमिटीज बनाई गई हैं दोनों पक्षों के कुछ वरिष्ठ
पहले दिन से हमारे अधिकारी, हमारे डिप्टी कमिश्नर पीस कमेटी के माध्यम से सभी में शांति बहाल रखने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं। वो लगातार वो काम जारी है, साइमल्टेनियसली चलता है वो काम, दोनों काम साथ साथ चलते हैं।
विपक्ष आप पर निशाना साध रहा है, खट्टर जी पर निशाना साध रहा है, ये कहकर कि आपकी अगुवाई में ये हो गया है।
देखिए, ये कोई समय नहीं है अभी राजनीति करने का, और अभी तो सबको मिलकर और विपक्ष को भी मिलकर अपनी जिम्मेदारी का परिचय देना चाहिए कि सब जगह पर शांति बहाल हो। राजनीति करने का जब समय आएगा तब जो भी प्रश्न वो कहेंगे हम जवाब देंगे उनका। हमारे ऊपर दायित्व है जवाब देने का, हम देंगे सबका जवाब।
कुछ अरेस्ट हुए हैं अनिल जी, और क्या कोई सूत्रधार के करीब के पास पहुंचने की कोई कवायद हुई है? अभी तक आपने डिटेंशंस की बात कही है, लेकिन हार्ड अरेस्ट कुछ हुए हैं? और क्या
कर रहे हैं अभी। इट इज नॉट प्रॉपर टू रश टू एनी अर्ली कंक्लूजन। वी आर रीचिंग, हम काम कर रहे हैं उस दिशा में।
वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन सर, वो पुलिस थाने को बस के साथ उसकी दीवार तोड़ने की कोशिश की गई, अंदर जाकर कुछ गाड़ियों को आग लगाने की कोशिश की गई।
जो साइबर थाना, हाँ जी, जो साइबर थाना पर हमला हुआ है उसके भी वो कौन लोग थे, क्या उनका मकसद था? पीछे हमने साइबर क्राइम के लिए वहाँ पर काफ़ी जांच भी की थी कि वो क्या वो वही लोग थे। इस एंगल से भी हम जांच कर रहे हैं।
और आप ये आश्वासन दे रहे हैं कि अगर प्रशासन की तरफ से, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, पुलिस की तरफ से
नहीं, बिल्कुल लोगों को निश्चिंत रहना चाहिए, बिल्कुल निश्चिंत रहना चाहिए और स्थिति को फर्दर खराब नहीं होने देना चाहिए। और मैं मानता हूं कि सबको अपनी बात कहने का हक है, लेकिन कानून को किसी को हाथ में नहीं लेना चाहिए, शांति को बनाए रखना चाहिए।
अनिल विज जी, थैंक यू फॉर स्पीकिंग विद अस। धन्यवाद सर।
So that was the Home Minister of Haryana who said that he reached out to the Commissioner of Police or the CP of Gurugram to rush help towards Nhu. Joining us now is the CP Gurugram Kala Ramchandran ji along with Nishant Yadav, the DC of Gurugram. Namaste and Jai Hind to the lady and the gentleman. Thank you very, very much. My first question to you, Kala ji, is can you get to the bottom of how it all started? There are many who are saying it was all pre-planned. Are you inclined to agree?
I really won't be able to comment on whether it was pre-planned or not, because the incident first occurred in Nhu district. So I really won't be able to comment on anything that happened in some other district. I can talk about Gurgaon. In Gurgaon, the incidents that happened were in reaction to something that happened in Nhu district.
But was there any intelligence that there could be something like this? Some information?
We really no. We were not aware, and secondly, I was in the High Court. I had been summoned there for an appearance when these incidents started happening. So I rushed back in the evening, and then we handled the affairs.
True. So Nishanji, let me ask you. You were the DC there. When did you first come to know about the incidents in Gurugram?
So it basically started on 31st only. We came to know about it by I think 3 or 4 p.m. on 31st itself.
All right.
Because the incident which happened in Nhu, it got spilled over to its reactions got spilled over to some portions of Gurugram, particularly in Sona. So we came to know about it in the afternoon itself.
But then what are the countermeasures that you have put in place or you have tried to take?
Yes, absolutely. So when it first started in Sohna city of Sohna town of Gurugram, first of all we reached there, we spoke to both the communities, the leaders from both the communities, and since then we have been continuously in touch with them. We have held many peace committee meetings with the leaders of both communities, and they have assured us to cooperate. And we have also made public appeals, and we have requested citizens to support us and keep calm and not to believe in rumors, and that has really paid off. I would say the situation is absolutely under control in Gurugram, and besides a few small incidents, things have been largely peaceful.
But have any arrests been made, Kalaji, if I may ask you, in Gurugram?
We have arrested over 50 persons so far. From when the incident started till now. But it's an ongoing process because my people are still conducting raids, and even as I'm speaking, the numbers could be changing.
I appreciate that. That's
so
possible.
Yes, we are identifying the accused and we are arresting them.
Ji, but Nishanji, if I may ask you, schools, colleges, institutions, MNCs, Gurugram is also a big hub. So, we are getting reports that MNCs are telling employees not to come. There are others who are not coming or leaving because they are worried. What would you like to tell them?
As far as yesterday is concerned, as a precautionary measure, we asked the schools to not to operate physically and to run only online classes.
Right.
But since situation was normal by yesterday evening, so today all the schools in Gurugram were operational except the Sohna subdivision where there were small issues. But from tomorrow onwards, the schools will be operational in entire district. As far as the corporates are concerned, since 31st itself, we have not imposed any restriction on the working of corporates.
Right.
Many, and in fact most of the companies were physically operational today also. But however, if any corporate advises its employees to work from home, it's absolutely their call and we will not be interfering with that.
But Kalaji, is social media a challenge? There is a lot that's being said, claimed on social media from either side. Is that a big challenge for you? How are you trying to mitigate that?
Yes, it is a huge challenge. In fact, the kind of, the rumor mongering and the kind of sensationalizing that is going on in the social media is making the issue appear more or huger than what it is on the ground. And all those rumors are also making us rush from one place to another because people are panicking and calling us.
Yeah.
So it's creating a sense of panic, and which is not really desired on the ground. We are keeping the social media handles, we are monitoring social media, and we have suspended a couple which were really inflammatory. And we appeal to the people not to listen to or pay credence to rumors and sensationalizing of the news. You see, when a rubber tire gets burnt, it makes for a spectacular show, the flames and the smoke. But it also has a psychological impact on the person who is watching it.
Agree.
And creates a sense of fear. So most of us have been receiving calls from RWAs and from panicked citizens, and we've been trying to assure them that there's no reason to panic. Things are normal. Schools were working today in Gurgaon. So our request is to not panic, and if you have an issue, please call 112. We will be there to help you out.
But Kalaji, on the face of it, was it just a mere reaction to what happened in Nhu, or was somebody expecting this entire issue to spread like wildfire in the neighboring areas, like it's happened?
I really wouldn't be able to comment about that right now, because we have been too busy trying to deal with the various situations that have been emerging and trying to maintain peace and quiet. Maybe the time for analysis will come later when we have more time to actually think and not just do firefighting that we are doing.
One of the concerns is the settlement of Rohingyas, non-Indians, illegals from Bangladesh and otherwise in various pockets of Gurugram, Nishanji. Is that something that you have taken into cognizance? Is that a worry for you?
Well, in some of the colonies and particularly in the Jhuggis which are located in the outskirts of the city, there is a little bit of panic among the people residing over there. And there were some reports where they have reported that they are feeling panicky. So we have sent our teams over there. Our officers have interacted with the RWAs also as well as the Jhuggi dwellers also. And they have assured them that the entire government is with them, and we will make sure that no such incident happens over there. Further, we have taken many measures to boost the confidence among the communities also, and we feel that situation is under control now.
But Kalaji, let me ask you, you're saying investigation is on, there could be more arrests, 50 arrests already. Do these people who've been arrested belong to any particular organization, or are they just free radicals?
Yeah. We have arrested people. We still, the interrogation process will still be going on. So once we have clarity on that, then we will be able to tell you.
But are you getting cooperation from both sides, Nishanji, in trying to maintain peace?
Yeah, absolutely. We are getting full cooperation from both communities. The leaders from both the communities, they have assured us time and again that not only they'll stand with us, but also they'll percolate the instructions from administration to every individual of the community. They have also held talks with each other in the sectors or the wards or mohallas of their area, and they have assured us full cooperation, and as a result there was not much issue throughout the day today, and I'm very sure that the things will settle down quite soon and normalcy will be restored.
Given the challenge posed by misinformation being spread on social media, do you see any further reason to suspend internet in Gurugram? Nishan?
Well, in Gurugram city, yeah, we don't see any reason, but in some areas of Gurugram district, like I told, in Sohna, in Manesar, in Patodi, the internet is suspended till today midnight, and depending upon the situation, by late evening today we'll take a call whether we have to extend the suspension further or not, but it will be restricted to the towns of Sohna, Manesar and Patodi, as I told.
But Kalaji, do you have enough boots on ground, enough security personnel to help you maintain law and order, and do you believe section 144 should continue to be imposed in Gurugram and the surrounding areas?
It is already stands imposed in Gurugram, and depending upon the situation, which we'll analyze late evening today also and tomorrow morning also, we might give certain relaxations, and otherwise we may altogether do away with it depending upon the situation tomorrow morning.
But Kalaji, do you have enough personnel, boots on ground?
I have plenty of. I have a very good team in Gurgaon. All my DCPs, ACPs, inspectors, my entire staff has been out on the roads and working very hard ever since this 31st afternoon. So yes, I have plenty of support, and from the police headquarters also, and from my government.
Thank you very much, Kala Ramchandranji and Nishanji. Thank you very much, and hope that you're able to curb the violence and also restore peace and normalcy in Gurugram and the neighbouring areas. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier in the day there was a petition that was moved in the Honourable Supreme Court trying to stop the VHP and Bajrang Dal from organising rallies, protest rallies against what happened in Nhu. And they wanted to do it at multiple locations in all around the Mewat region and also certain parts of western UP and spilling over into some other regions. But the Supreme Court refused to stay. The Supreme Court refused to stay these protests, but they did impose stringent conditions. They directed the authorities that it has to be monitored very carefully, and CCTV should be there, every action should be monitored, and nobody should be allowed to take the law in their hands. Joining us now is the International Working President of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Alok Kumar ji. Alok ji, namaste and Jai Hind. The Supreme Court has ruled in your favor, but they have also asked for very strict monitoring.
I am satisfied for both of the things. Some demonstrations are planned in the evening,
Ji.
including in the sensitive areas. They were specifically referred to the Supreme Court.
Ji.
It was also referred to the Supreme Court that some Mahapanchayat is taking place today.
Yes.
The Supreme Court, after hearing this, has not agreed to grant any injunction order against our rallies. We are happy and satisfied with the order of strict monitoring,
Ji.
that is, the CCTV and video cameras,
Ji.
because all the VHP Bajrang Dal rallies shall be held within the parameters of law, and we always use the restraint not to transgress the constitutional boundaries. We are happy with the order, and I think that it is a very sound defeat for the people who go to any extent
Ji.
to malign or disturb the VHP Bajrang Dal activities.
True, but the BHP and the Bajrang Dal cadre have been infamous or have been perceived to be notorious about taking law into their own hands and creating trouble on ground. But we'll keep that aside for the moment. Let me ask you your reaction to what happened in Nhu. And more than about 58 hours, tension still simmering.
I would say that the entire humanity is facing a threat from the jihadi elements, upon which a section of the Muslims believe. According to them, the whole world is to be converted to Islam by whatever means, by whatever violence or abduction or rape. This is clear that the Nhu incidents were premeditated and adequate preparation had gone for that. Illegal arms were collected, lathis, stones, and then when they attacked, they first killed the two home guards. So this is a challenge to the security agencies. Then they burned the vehicle of a media house. This was a challenge to the media also. And then they came after us. I would say that some of the campaign issues were in the public domain, and I am surprised that the intelligence did not report it. It is a monumental failure of the intelligence, and it is an utter negligence that the adequate police force like previous years was not deputed this time. So therefore, we have to be careful on all these three fronts.
But the ADG Law and Order says about 800 cops were placed there. The other aspect is their blame is also being pointed, fingers are being pointed at the VHP and the Bajrang Dal, saying there was open provocation, exchange of sloganeering, and there were certain cadre part of the yatra who also were armed with lathis and sticks, etc. Some claims are being made that they even had weapons.
How did we provoke? I have a simple question to myself. If somebody is throwing stones at me, what do I do? Do I tell him, please wait for some time because I am calling the police and waiting for their arrival? The law gives all of us a right to defend ourselves. And since it is now an established fact that we were attacked, we had a right to self-defense. And there were no firearms. There were stones which were available in plenty, and some lathis which are taken for walking long distances. We retaliated, and I can tell you on your channel, anywhere, if the Hindus are attacked, they will use to the fullest extent their right to self-defense.
So you're terming your reaction or the reaction to as self-defense and saying that if there is an attack that happens, you're not going to take it lying down. You're exercising your right to self-defense. There are many who may not agree with your position, Alokji, but let me ask you. Earlier you just said that this was pre-planned. Why did you say that?
I would straight away say that we equally condemn the burning of a mosque and the murder. It has to be within the law and the constitution, and we are satisfied that no VHP worker was involved in that mosque incident. But then I ask a question. If you attack Hindu temples, if you attack Hindu congregations, is it reasonable to assume that there would be no reaction to it? And whenever such reaction occurs, it is not possible for even the VHP or Bajrang Dal to control it. So therefore, the jihadi elements must understand that whatever they do by attacking, looting or other things, it would invite a reaction, an inevitable reaction, which would be to their credit.
You say that
and at their responsibility.
You say you condemn the attack at the mosque and also killing of the Imam, one of the 6 people who's dead, and you are saying here on CNN News 18 that you are very clear that none of the VHP or Bajrang Dal members were involved. VHP members were involved. But there are also many who are saying that the VHP is giving patronage to Nhu Mewat. And that was a big trigger, that video.
Number one, that video is of the last year, not this year.
That's a big claim.
We did not upload it.
Okay.
But assuming against me, let me assume for a moment that the Nhu Mewat was coming to participate in that Tirth Yatra. Will that justify the murder of home guards, the burning of the vehicles, the attack on the police, and the attack on the aged and other ladies and persons who were participating in that yatra? Some secular people are providing such lame excuses. Even the presence of Nhu Mewat would not justify a rioting started by them.
One, you claim that this was an old video. 2, you claim that Nhu Mewat was not given patronage by the VHP, and whether he was not there itself, whether he was there itself is a big question mark. But does that even justify the kind of violence that was unleashed? But why do you think this happened? It's not the first time you're carrying out this 84 Kosi Yatra.
There were no heated exchanges until we were attacked. There was nothing spontaneous. If you look into the media, if you look into the social media and the Twitter handles yourself, you will locate a couple of messages that have been doing rounds even before the yatra, for 2-3 days before the yatra, that invite the Muslims to come and to do whatever. So this was a pre-planned thing.
But why would they do it is a question.
This was a part of the jihad in an area where Muslims in the terms of numbers dominate. It was all planned to frighten Hindus and to compel the local population to leave Mewat. It was a sinister thing, not spontaneous, but planned in advance.
But why would they do it now? Let's say there will be many who would challenge your arguments, your logic itself, Alokji. But let's say if I concede that you're making an argument, why would it happen now? Why would they target this yatra at this time? If you're saying VHP did not provoke first,
why had they assembled in such big numbers? Why were they carrying stones? Why were they carrying firearms? Why had they spotted positions in the small mounds around the temple to go and fire at the pilgrims? It is a part of their mentality. We did not provoke it. We do not provoke it. And we know the consequences of doing such acts in an area which has some 80% population of the Muslims.
So, whether or not the VHP Bajrang Dal was directly involved is a subject matter of investigation. But my final question to you, Alok ji, do you believe the Haryana government has failed? Will you blame them for what has happened?
I would say that since many things were in the public domain, it was a monumental intelligence failure not to report it. Number two, this Yatra was in its 4th year. On all the 3 earlier occasions, there was a very substantial police bandobast. Why was it abandoned at this time? It is a common knowledge that this is a sensitive area. They should have anticipated this and taken action. We have asked the Haryana government to investigate and identify the officers responsible for this lapse, and the delinquent people should be punished.
So you believe that there was inadequate bandobast compared to the last 3 years. This is the 4th year, and compared to the past this time around, the bandobast was not enough. And you'd want to ask, were there officers who were negligent in their duty? And you're asking the Haryana government to get to the bottom of this. Alok Kumar ji, thank you very much for your time and for speaking with us here on The Right Stand.